And welcome back to another edition of On the Board Sports. I am your host, Will Chiarucci, aka Will C, coming to you from Gotham Podcast Studios in Manhattan, New York. And I'm joined by my wonderful producer, Mike Ortiz, controlling the ones and twos behind the glass over here at Gotham. He says hello, he says what's up. But today we have two very special guests with us. Joining us from the Unsealed is basically a duo that's really looking into changing sports and how people look at athletes. I'm talking about Brill and Audra Frimpong. Ladies, how are you?
We're doing great.
Awesome. So how did you girls start up the Unsealed? It's an interesting story, probably, but how did you guys start it up?
It is an interesting story. Do you want to take the lead on this one?
Sure. So basically, Lauren and I decided to take a girls' trip to Miami. And while we were on the elevator, we had a death scare because we got stuck on the elevator. And we learned in that process of being up there for about 5 minutes of terror that we worked really well together. So even though we were both terrified, we were, just able to instruct each other and get us down to the bottom safely. But when we reached the bottom, we were like, hey, that could have ended our lives. Now what can we do moving forward to change other people's lives and make an impact? And then we came up with the Unsealed.
That's awesome. And what does the Unsealed do for the people that are listening right now want to do, as far as like what does it bring to the table that most other companies don't usually do?
So we tell stories in the form of open letters, and we help people write the letters, and then we pair the letters with charity so that people's personal stories actually make change via their message and through monetary donations. And what we do differently is that we're not afraid of any topic, and we talk to people of all walks of life. A lot of the stories are socially significant or inspirational, but we'll take on topics that a lot of other people are scared to because either they're uncomfortable or they're controversial. So we're just a little bit bolder, and we come from a more personal and vulnerable perspective.
That's awesome. And, you look at everything right now that's going on in the world, and sometimes Twitter, Instagram can be uncensored somewhat to a degree, but you girls go out there and you do a wonderful job. What's it like working in the field for both of you?
I'm sorry, say it again?
What's it like working in the field with certain athletes, being being females, working in the sports field for you guys, doing what you're doing?
I've done it so long, so I don't really know anything else. For me, it's been, athletes are great and they're really helpful and they are open and honest. So for me, I've had a lot of great experiences with athletes.
Agreed. I can agree with Lauren in that. I mean, I was an athlete at Alabama myself, so my whole life has been surrounded around other athletes. And I think one thing that's significant about athletes is that a lot of times they get lost behind their sport, but they really do have very compelling and inspiring stories to share. So it's really easy working with them.
That's awesome. I was reading something on that you guys worked with Thomas Jones, former Jet and Chiefs running back. Can you guys explain, go into depth and detail, what was it like working with a guy like Thomas Jones?
So Thomas was my favorite story so far, and he of all the people we've done stories with was probably the most proactive in going through exactly what he wanted to say, how he wanted to say it. I mean, we went through each sentence word by word and made sure that he was communicating exactly how he wanted to communicate, and it was effective, and it was true to how he felt. And he was kind, he was interesting, he was insightful, he was really, really great to work with, and he made me realize a lot of the things that I didn't think about and that I wasn't aware of, because obviously him being a black male and me being a white female, and we wrote a story about race, we had very different perspectives. So it was a cool thing for him to say something and me be like, wait, well, what about this? Or how do you feel about that? And realizing my thought process about things was totally different. And for example, I was saying how, if I was in trouble or somebody attacked me, my instinct would be to call 911 without question. And he was like, no, like, I'm apprehensive about calling 911 for anything. And it was just such a contrast, and I don't know that I would have necessarily recognized that contrast had we not sat down and had these conversations as we worked on the piece together.
Outside of what you girls have been doing, like, have you had like a favorite interview thus far? I know, you mentioned Thomas Jones, but like outside of that, have you had like a favorite interview?
I mean, Thomas Jones is definitely my favorite so far for this piece, for the Unsealed. But I mean, I like all of them. Everyone is so insightful and so powerful and so emotional and open. And the amount of adversity people have overcome is incredible. So I don't know if the other ones I haven't necessarily favorite, but I think Thomas was my favorite because he opened my eyes to things that I didn't necessarily know or realize.
That's good. Lauren, do you have anything to add on that, or?
Oh, that was Lauren.
Oh, that was Lauren. Okay, it's tough when you got two people on the phone.
Yeah.
No,
our voices might sound a little similar, huh?
Yeah, it kind of does, but hey, that's neither here nor there. Yeah. I gotta ask. Speaking of very, very touchy subject here, LeBron James and Daryl Morey. What happened 2 weeks ago with what had transpired with China? I'd like to get your take on what, in general, what it means or what it meant for you to see that tweet go out there, get deleted, and then the major backlash that had happened. I'd like to get your take on that.
Do you want to go first, Audra?
Sure. Well, I'm kind of uninformed on what happened, so I would like to know what the tweet was.
I mean, basically, he put out a political tweet about China, and China basically shut down all their NBA related activity, which is a huge blow to the NBA. And I mean, I think that it's tough. We're living in a global society, but I don't necessarily think we always understand other people's cultures and the way other things work. And we have to realize that there's a right and wrong way to go about things. And I don't know that we always have that all figured out. So it's tough because you want to have an opinion and you want progress, but I don't know if Twitter is the best way to catalyze or to begin progress. I think there's better ways to create change than with a tweet.
Absolutely. And you get to see everything right now, and Nike having all these sponsors and everything like that. And China has 1 billion fans just about, going out there and supporting the NBA almost on an everyday basis. And, it's crazy what's going on right now. But there's bigger things outside of basketball that many people, I think, kind of had a eye-opening experience to as far as what had happened over in China. But, hey, we can exercise our freedom of speech and everything like that, and I'm totally down for that. But, there's also other things that LeBron was trying to get to. Like, you're dealing with businesses, you're dealing with political affiliations, and if you disagree with this guy and that guy, it's almost the same. It's almost saying like, okay, you're going to lose out on a lot of money if you open up your mouth and, do that to a degree. That's what the message I kind of sort of somewhat got from it. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, I'm just an American citizen that kind of wants to see things, and rightfully so, wants to see the world be right.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Right.
So when you were playing at Alabama, what sports did you play at Alabama?
I ran track.
You ran track.
I did the 100-meter hurdles, 4x1, and long jump.
Okay. And did you did you want to play like any other sport? Like, what made you want to get into doing track? Because it's interesting how people want to go out and do some certain things.
started track when I was in 7th grade, and I liked it for the fact that it was all about statistics. So it wasn't about, your affiliation to the team. Is your dad the coach? Is your, favorite teacher the coach of the team? So it was undeniable, whether you had a talent for it or not. And when I was being recruited, my whole focus was going to a school in a warmer climate because I'm from Ohio, and I got tired of running in the snow. And when I went to Alabama, when I went there for my official visit, I just felt at home. It's just the perfect college town, in my opinion. Beautiful campus, just amazing people, and I just say that my recruiting class arguably was the best, just especially in football. But yeah, it was just an amazing experience. I loved Alabama.
Who was a part of your recruiting class, as far as from what you remember?
So I'm class of '08. So for football, we had Julio Jones, Mark Ingram, Marcel Darius, Dante Hightower, so many people.
That's awesome. That's a legit all-star cast of characters right there, in a nutshell.
Yeah.
But did you have like an inspiration on why you wanted to run track at all? I mean, like who's like your favorite athlete growing up?
Well, actually, my favorite athlete is Serena Williams, which is totally unrelated to track, just because I think she embodies just great success. I mean, she is a beast. So she was always my inspiration athletic-wise. But as far as track, I would say I looked up to FloJo, who has the 100-meter world record still from the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, she was definitely my track inspiration.
That's awesome. That's awesome to say. How about Lauren? Who's your inspiration to write and be a writer? Just about,
I don't know that I have an inspiration for writing. I think that for me, writing was always an outlet. And so it's just something that evolved because I enjoyed doing it and it was cathartic. And, it was just a passion. So it evolved. But I don't know if anyone inspired me to write. I think it was just something that as a little girl I started doing. I used to write poetry, and it evolved into writing a lot more. English was actually my worst subject at school. I was really good at math, but I've just always loved to write. And I figured it out.
Absolutely. Did you play sports in high school at all too, Lauren, or no?
Yeah, I was actually voted biggest jock in high school. I wasn't an All-American like someone else on the phone. I was voted biggest jock. I played soccer and lacrosse, and I was a pretty good soccer player, decent lacrosse player. I was a center mid at soccer, and I played soccer all over the world. I traveled to Italy, and I played on some pretty elite teams.
That's awesome. What was your favorite part about traveling around the world playing soccer?
Going to Italy was pretty amazing, and just the different cultures. We stayed in a small town called Montecatini, and it just, as a 16, 17-year-old, it was very eye-opening and different and exciting, and also it was a great bonding opportunity with my teammates.
That's awesome. What made you want to get into soccer though in general? Like just because of the fact that you go ahead.
I started playing soccer when I was 5. I feel like that's the first thing your parents sign you up for, and I was good at it, so I just kept going.
That's great. That's great that you wound up going out there and traveling around the world just about for soccer. That's how many people can say that.
Yeah, no, it was an awesome experience. I definitely loved it, and my closest, one of my best friends was my best friend on my soccer team. We met on our club team.
That's awesome. Lauren, where'd you go to school?
I went to Columbia.
Here in New York?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay.
No, I loved it.
Well, we kind of know that you have a big following now and everything like that. So that sort of works itself out in many ways. But no, that's great. That's great that you girls, achieved so many great things in your respective sport and field and at your school too, but it's a great thing. As far as what you've went through. Like, I know that you girls met each other and did the Unsealed and did up everything like that. What's your future plan? What's your future goals to bring the Unsealed to?
You want to be
Exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say, honestly, it's a daily thing because it is our own. And so right now, our main goal is growing, just obtaining more subscribers, and also getting more followers via Instagram and all our other social media, Twitter, Facebook, everything like that. We just want to really build a community and have this be a movement more than, just people reading stories. We want to actually have a movement and a community around this.
And the best part about with you guys actually interact with the fans. You actually want the fans to write in stories about their tough times.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And try and relate people to athletes, and because we're all human at the end of the day, and that's what many people fail to realize. Like this one guy, he makes out $250 million compared to a guy that makes 60,000 doing his, working hard. But the main thing is that we all have heartbeats, and we all go out there and we can relate to somebody mentally.
Exactly. And I think that's the whole goal, just saying, even though we may look alike, we might be from different regions of the world or come from different backgrounds and different experiences, there's something in everyone that you can relate to and identify with.
Lauren, you have anything to add on that?
I mean, that's basically our goal, and yeah, no, I mean, I agree with Audra.
All right. No, that's good. That's good. All right. It's turned out to be nice over here. But girls, I got to ask you, like, how do the people follow you on social media? Because it's a really interesting thing seeing some of your stories and everything like that online. How do the people follow you on social media?
How? I mean, we have the Unsealed on Twitter, and we have Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and we just post stories, and people find them and like them, and they start to follow us. I mean, I think our most traction is on Facebook because that's where stories are most often shared.
And also, we send out a newsletter.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you go to our site, you can enter in your email right on the pop-up screen, and you can receive our story first.
That's awesome. How do the people follow you personally, though, on social media?
I have my own Instagram. Audra has her own Instagram. We're on Facebook. I have a Facebook page, a Twitter page. So yeah, it's under my name. I don't think, Audra, you have Twitter or Facebook though.
No, I'm on Instagram though. It's melanin_ESQ, and then Lauren is.
I am Laura_Brill on Facebook.
That's awesome. Girls, you girls are amazing at what you do. Don't ever give up, and, keep going out there and doing whatever it is that you girls are doing and bringing people together, because it's truly, truly an awesome thing reading some of the articles that you've put out there on the Unsealed. So, keep it up, see how it goes, and just weather the course,
Yeah, thanks. And we are, trying to get out there in the community and meet people. So hopefully, we can meet the people who are listening to this podcast, and really just getting out there and putting our faces and the Unsealed out for the world to see and know.
Do you girls travel? I know you girls travel the world, but have you thought about just coming to New York or something? I know you girls travel, but just coming to New York and just.
I'm going to be in New York for all of November. I'm doing public speaking also about a lot of our stories and my own story. And yeah, I have 3 public speaking events in New York in November.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hopefully I see you girls soon. Maybe you come in studio and we'll talk.
Yep.
Sure.
And if anybody wants, us to come out there and talk for them or to them, they can go ahead and email us and reach out. We would be happy to do so.
Awesome. Awesome. Girls, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate this, and, sacrificing some of your time to come on and talk not only sports, but mental health in general. It's a big, big thing going on in the world. And, we all got to relate somehow. We all do.
Yeah.
So I really do appreciate that. I'm sorry?
Our latest story we just did is actually about specifically about mental health and how important it is to express yourself and make other people feel comfortable in expressing themselves.
Absolutely. And, the world right now that's the next big thing. That probably might be the next big forefront, is trying to conquer mental health. So, girls, thank you so much. You girls do a really great job with the Unsealed. So, hope to talk to you girls soon, all right?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you. That was the one and only, that was Lauren Brill from the Unsealed, along with her partner, Lauren Brill and Audra Frimpong. So the girls did a wonderful job coming on to the show. It's amazing what they do, and what more can you want? What more can you want? Mental health is the next big challenge in this world that we live in right now, and how to conquer things. So thank you again for coming on. For everybody here at Gotham Podcast Studios, for Lauren Brill and Audra Frimpong from the Unsealed, and for Mike Ortiz, our wonderful producer controlling the ones and twos behind the glass here at Gotham, I am your host, Will Chiarucci, logging out. We will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.